I'm back. So, as you may know, I've been gone for a while, and part of that is due to the fact that I had Marvel and DC burnout. Don't get me wrong, I still love so many characters from Marvel and DC, but a lot of times, as you may know, if you've tried to read the comics in Marvel and DC, there's a lot going on. The characters' arcs and such just keep on coming, right? And then when it gets stagnant, they restart the whole universe, and then you're back to square one. And I don't know about you, but sometimes you just need a palate cleanser. So today we're talking about why you should try to make the switch from Marvel and DC to independent comics. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the reasons why I switched to independent comics and some of the reasons why you might want to as well. I have some recommendations at the end, so let's get into it. One of the reasons you might want to read independent comics is because maybe you're a new reader to DC and Marvel, and there's so many universes and things that all have to like connect, and you feel like you have to read everything in order to you have to go back to the 80s in order to understand what's going on with Batman. And while that's not true, it can be overwhelming with just all the issues that have ever come out of Marvel and DC. One of the great things about independent comics is that a lot of times, and by a lot of the times I mean most of the time, it's insulated within its own universe. These are independent creators writing their own stories, so for that reason, it's not a bunch of crossovers and stuff like that. It's just insulated, and it all kind of just like has a beginning, middle, and end, and you can kind of just read the story and be like, okay, cool, I'm done with that, right? Like the same thing is true with like manga and anime, right? Like there's not a lot of crossover events and things like that. It's kind of just one story that you can follow from beginning to end, which is really refreshing sometimes. The second reason you might want to read independent comics is that there is a vast variety of different genres within independent comics, because these are independent creators writing their own stories. And so within the independent comic niche, there's sci-fi, horror, there's superheroes, there's a slice of life, there's romance, there's all these different things like fantasy that you can just dive into, and their own insulated worlds that you don't have to read a certain issue of a comic in order to understand this one, which is really refreshing. And a lot of times for me, it can be a palate cleanser, right? When you're just like stooped into like Marvel, DC, you're able to like come over here and just like read a story from start to end, and it's just real refreshing in that way. So like I said before, you don't have to give up on Marvel and DC in order to enjoy indie comics. You can read them simultaneously. I personally am sort of giving up on Marvel and DC for the time being, mostly because I don't agree with some of the stuff going on with those two companies, which is one of the reasons I'm making the switch to independent comics. I just love stories, and I love reading new stories, and independent comics offers a lot more of that, rather than just Batman in 100 different ways, Superman in 100 different ways, Spider-Man in 100 different ways, pick your flavor. I like getting new and unique stories out of what I'm reading. Again, I still love Marvel and DC characters, but as far as like supporting Marvel and DC, I kind of want to support, more independent comics. As someone who aspires to be an independent comic writer one day, I think it's really important to support this community of people who are putting stuff out, putting art out, and rather than just like, I don't know, to me sometimes it feels like Marvel and DC just like bank on the fact that they have the number one superhero IPs, and they just will, it doesn't really matter. You're going to buy my comic because it's Batman. Of course you're going to buy Batman, right? Rather than have to put more effort into it. And I think that if we just keep buying whatever they sell, it doesn't give them any incentive to try harder and to do some really cool creative stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people doing some cool creative stuff in Marvel and DC, right? I don't really read that much Marvel, but I have been keeping up with Scott Snyder and his Absolute universes and all those things, his Absolute Batman. And that's a really cool take on a character that we know and love. But as far as supporting people who are trying hard, you know, they want to grip you with their storytelling and their creative, independent comics is the place to be. And I have a couple of suggestions to get you started on this journey. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, number one, I'm not really a manga guy. It's not really my thing. However, I'm a huge Cory Kenshin fan, and so of course, you know, I grabbed Monsters We Make. This is the first one. I haven't got the second one yet. I haven't even finished this one yet. I'm like halfway through it. But so far it's really good. So if you want to support the Shogun himself, pick this up. One of my favorite comic book writers in the game is Robert Kirkman. He wrote Walking Dead, and he wrote Invincible, two of the biggest ones he's written. Also Oblivion Song, which is a comic I'm reading right now, a storyline I'm reading right now. It's really good. So any of those, really good. Walking Dead, really long. If you want to dive into that, I haven't even read all of Walking Dead, but if you want to dive into those, you can do that. Oblivion Song is really good. It's not super long. I think it's like 36 issues, maybe. You can correct me in the comments down below because you probably have Google. But Oblivion Song is really cool. It's like post interdimensional, like apocalyptic type thing where this guy goes back into this different dimension to save people and bring them back from that alien weird dimension into the one that we all know and love, Earth. You know, he's trying to bring them all back, which is really cool because his brother's lost in there. Doesn't give too much away because I think that they discussed that in the first issue. So pick up Oblivion Song or Walking Dead or Invincible. I recently just finished all the Invincible stories because at first I didn't really know about it, and then I found out about it, and before I wanted to watch the TV show, I wanted to read the comics. So I got them from the library, I checked them out. I was waiting for a long time for each of them to get off hold, but I ended up reading them all, and it was pretty good. This is a cool thing that's going on in independent comics right now. From Image, we have G.I. Joe, which is part of the bigger Energon universe. Oh, Energon universe. You see that right there? I don't know if it'll focus, but the Energon universe combines G.I. Joe and another book by Robert Kirkman called Void Rivals, and then also Transformers, which is really fun. I've been reading from the perspective of the G.I. Joe comics because I love G.I. Joe. I used to watch the old cartoon when I was a kid because my dad put me on. And so I would watch all those, and I had all the G.I. Joe action figures and all that stuff. Anything G.I. Joe, I would watch it or play with all the toys. So yeah, Robert Kirkman's kind of leading the charge on the Energon universe, which is really cool. Then we have some of my favorite comics from Boom Studios. I have all the trade paperbacks out right now, and that is Something is Killing the Children. Really good book series. It's about a character named Erica Slaughter who is fighting monsters who are birthed out of the fear and imagination of children, and adults can't see them because adults don't believe in monsters, but a select elite group of monster fighters from the Order of St. George, they fight these monsters and protect children, or so we think. Different twists and turns happen along the way. You'll have to read it in order to find out, but this book right here, Something is Killing the Children, is so good. So I definitely recommend that. This is another one from Image. Came from Scott Snyder, written by Scott Snyder, and it's called, I just picked this one up actually yesterday, so I haven't read it yet. But Undiscovered Country, it's about like post-apocalyptic America and a group sent in to like save some survivors or something along those lines. Weird government espionage type stuff, I think. At least that's how it was explained to me from the guy at the comic book store. So really excited about this. And those are all some starter things that if you want superheroes, start reading Invincible. It's so good. You want like cool army action, you can read the G.I. Joe series. If you want horror / manga, you can read Monsters We Make. If you want horror as well, you can read Something's Killing the Children. Oblivion Song is like post-apocalyptic interdimensional travel type stuff. Walking Dead, zombies, the list goes on, and you can, there's so many more that I can't even name here because I haven't even read them or even know about them. I know there's a series called Saga, which I hear is really good, and that is from Image. Saga is supposedly really good. There's another one called Black Hammer that I plan on picking up. There's another one called The Moon is Following Us, if you want to pick that up. I saw it at the comic book store, and I decided to go with this one instead for now, but I plan on also picking that one up. So when you're reading independent comics, the list goes on and on of like all the different genres you can get, and I'm just really excited about independent comics right now. So I'm taking a break from Marvel and DC, and I'm going towards the independent route to support independent creators and support creativity in this space. You'll still get video essay type stuff from me, like the one I made right here about like should Batman kill, and things like that. However, as far as like stuff that I really am excited about and want to read, I'm going down the independent route, and I know there's plenty of other independent creators out there, and so leave those in the comments down below if you have any suggestions. But yeah, for now I'm done with Marvel and DC. But hey, that's just my take. Let me know yours in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.